The War Scroll in 7 minutes. Among the Dead Sea Scrolls, the War Scroll is one of the most startling. It imagines the end of history as a sacred campaign, not a random collapse. The sons of light rise against the sons of darkness, and the world is divided between covenant and rebellion, holiness and ruin. The scroll opens with the enemies named plainly: Edom, Moab, the sons of Ammon, Amalek, Philistia, and the Kittim. These are not just nations on a map, they are symbols of a larger struggle. On the other side stand the sons of Levi, Judah, and Benjamin, the exiles who return from the wilderness to fight under the banner of God. Even in its first lines, the scroll sounds less like a battlefield report and more like a verdict. The rule of war. This is not ordinary warfare. It is a liturgy. The War Scroll gives the battle a timetable, a rank structure, and a ritual order. There are years of service, years of rest, priests, Levites, officers, trumpets, banners, and carefully arranged lines of infantry and cavalry. Even destruction is governed by law. The war is stretched across decades. The chiefs of the priests are counted. The chiefs of the Levites are counted. The armies are divided into courses. One year they fight Mesopotamia, then Lud, then Aram, then the nations beyond the Euphrates, then Assyria and Persia, then Elam, Ishmael, Keturah, Ham, and Japheth. The scroll is not vague. It maps the world for judgment. It imagines the whole earth as a list that can be called forward when the appointed hour arrives. The point is not only military strategy, it is sacred order. The War Scroll insists that the faithful are not supposed to fight as a panic-struck mob. They fight as a consecrated community. The battle has rank, sequence, timing, and meaning. In a strange way, the scroll treats war the way a temple treats sacrifice. Trumpets and banners. The trumpets are the voice of the war. There are trumpets for alarm, for battle formations, for assembling the infantry, for the slain, for ambush, for pursuit, for retreat, and for the peaceful return to Jerusalem. Each one has an inscription: the called of God, the princes of God, the rule of God, the mighty deeds of God. The banners speak too. The grand banner carries Israel and Aaron. The smaller banners carry the Spirit of God, the standard of God, the names of the tribes, the names of the leaders. The scroll turns cloth and bronze into theology. Nothing is anonymous. Nothing is random. Every line and every emblem says that the battle belongs to God. That is one of the most remarkable things about the text. It does not separate symbols from action. The trumpet call is not just a signal, it is a confession. The banner is not just a marker, it is a declaration. The army is moving, but it is also preaching. Every sound and every sign say the same thing, that the world is not ruled by chaos, but by the covenant. The Army of Holiness. The soldiers themselves are set apart. The priests wear white linen. The Levites sound the horns. The army is organized into precise ranks. The shields are decorated, the spears are polished, the horses are trained. No one impure joins the host. No blind man, no lame man, no youth, no woman, no one ritually unclean. The camp must remain holy even while preparing for annihilation. The scroll keeps returning to this balance between severity and discipline. War is not wild, war is ordered. The violence is framed by purity, memory, and obedience. Even the weapons are described with a kind of ceremonial care. The army is not just armed, it is arranged. The priests do more than bless the troops. They hold the center of the whole drama. The scroll places them between the camps and the outcome, between the battle and the meaning of the battle. They are the ones who keep the war from becoming mere bloodshed. They turn it into a liturgical event with an appointed beginning and an appointed end. The chief priest's prayer. Before battle, the chief priest speaks. He remembers Moses, Pharaoh, David, Goliath, the star of Jacob, the scepter from Israel. He asks who is like the God of Israel, maker of heaven and earth, master of spirits, festival times, lands, languages, and generations. The prayer is not soft, it is thunder. The priest does not ask God to make the people powerful. He asks God to remember them. The battle is yours, not ours. The victory is yours, not ours. The army stands only because God has chosen to go with it. That idea runs through the entire scroll. Human strength matters less than divine favor. Numbers matter less than covenant. Weapons matter less than the hand that directs them. Then the prayer becomes a promise. Rise up, O hero. Crush the enemies. Gather your captives. Fill your land with glory. Let Zion rejoice. Let Jerusalem sing. Let the daughters of the people shout for joy. The scroll sees the end of war as the restoration of order, not just the defeat of an enemy. The final battle. The war comes in lots. In 3 lots, the sons of light hold firm. In 3, the army of Belial pushes back. But in the 7th lot, God overcomes. Belial and the angels of his dominion fall. The men of his force are destroyed forever. The final conflict is not presented as a rough balance of powers. The scroll is confident to the point of severity. The sons of darkness will not survive. The kittim will fall. Assyria will fall. Wickedness will be swept away without remainder. This is apocalypse in the strict sense, unveiling, the moment when hidden order becomes visible through judgment. After the battle, the priests sound the memorial trumpets. The leaders bless God. The army returns to camp. In the morning they inspect the field and give thanks. What began as war ends as worship. Even the aftermath is governed by ritual. The victory does not release the people from order. It confirms it. The meaning. The war scroll is more than a military fantasy. It is a worldview. It says history has a direction, evil has a name, holiness has structure, and the end of violence is not chaos, but judgment. It joins religion, identity, and cosmic order into a single vision. That is why the scroll still matters. It reveals how the people of Qumran imagined the world as a battlefield where loyalty mattered more than empire, and where the final victory belonged not to armies, but to God. The war was never only against flesh and blood. It was against darkness itself. And the text insists that darkness, in the end, does not get the last word. What remains is not just the memory of combat, but the memory of a people who believed that history could be ordered, counted, and redeemed. And that is the strange force of the war scroll. It is severe, disciplined, and uncompromising. But it is also a vision of hope, because for all its trumpets and banners, its true claim is simple. The night is not forever.